I want to make sure that we have enough time to go through some of the details, that I take my time doing that, and that you have time to ask questions at the end. Basically, if you're not aware of the MyMNRI app, it is designed for the therapist to use with their clients, to give the families and the clients a tool in which they can have a better understanding of the exercises when they're not sitting with you as the therapist. There will be a second phase that will allow families to use the app, or individuals to use the app without a therapist. But currently, phase one, we wanted to make sure that it was used with a therapist. Now, it is free for the therapist, but your client will need to pay for it. Just kind of upfront, that's one of the more common questions I ask. So it's free for the therapist to sign up and to use this with their clients, but the clients would need to then pay for it in addition. Now, as a therapist, when you sign up as a therapist, you actually are going to need to contact me. And when you sign up, you should have gotten, if you've signed up already and you're a user, you should have gotten a basic email, welcoming email that actually says, if you're not set up as a therapist, who to contact or how to get access. You do not have to be a fully trained MNRI specialist to use this, which is why I invited all core specialists, all course and training to this session, because if all you have had is neurotactile, those are the techniques you'll have access to. If you've had neurotactile, archetype, and dynamic and postural, then you'll have access to those exercises, or techniques. Go ahead and now we'll kind of get started. When you log into the app, you'll either see this blank screen, and it's the URL is MNRIapp.mymnri.com, and it brings you to your login screen. Typically, what'll happen is you'll sign up as just a user, unless you contact me first, and then I'll have set you up as a therapist. Either way, I can then go ahead and I will set you up. So this is me logged in as a therapist. So I've logged in, I get this blank screen. I don't see anything, I don't know anything. And so I'm gonna start by showing you what's available. So if you go to the knowledge base, oh, I do want to also add, it is easiest the first few times you use this. Yes, there is an app for your phone, but I promise you it is easier if you do this from the computer when you're at least starting to set up clients and things. It's just easier. I've found it much easier. Okay, so in your knowledge base, you have your therapies and your exercises. So, and I'm just on this left navigation. I've logged in again. I'm a therapist. So here are my therapies. So my model here is I'm a core specialist. I've taken everything. So I have the orofacial reflexes. I have neurostructural reflex integration. I have repatterning, neurotactile, and archetype. Now, I am going to show you in a little bit what these videos actually look like, because they're text and they're videos, and they're at a couple of different angles, which is really, really beneficial. You can also go, so when you're in the therapies, you can look at them, you can explore them by clicking the little eye on the right-hand side and kind of go in. I'll go into neurostructural. And you have the front of the body, the back of the body, and then you just keep breaking it down. I will say they do have the exercises where you could go specifically to the exercise that you might be looking for. However, it is much more difficult because there's several thousand. So, I mean, there's 48 pages. So there's 480 exercises. So it's a lot harder to filter through exercise by exercise, but you can. Okay, you're logged in as a therapist and you want to use this with your client now. All right, okay, so the first thing you'll do is go to clients. That I was just showing you the knowledge base to show you all that's filled. So you go to your clients. I've added a client already, my little test client. But to add a client, you can add client and then you just type in their name. I'm very creative today, right? And hit save. And now my client's here and I can dig into them a bit. This is also how you can start your client. Okay, so now I've added my client. I've hit the little I symbol. If you're there with your client, you can go, there's homework, there's information, users, and invite. This is the URL. You can print this and give this to them. And then they can use that to get directly to the app. There's a little print feature. This is the easiest way for your client to sign up and already automatically be connected to you as their therapist. So now we've invited our client, but how are they going to know what to do? Well, there's two ways to do this. You're going to add homework. And so here you would add their homework. Over on the right-hand corner, there's a little blue button. You click on that, and then you can give it any title you want. So let's say you want them to work on this over the summer, right? So it's going to be their summer program. So we could just say summer program. That's their homework, right? And how many weeks are they going to do this? Are they going to take a break for that week? So summer, we'll just say 12 weeks. And they're going to take a break in 5 weeks, right? They'll take week 6, they'll take a break. All right, and then we're going to save that. So now they have a homework program. However, there's nothing in it yet. We haven't put any exercises or techniques for them to do. There's two ways now. We could go in and we could hit the little I, and now we go into add a therapy. And there's a lot of steps initially, but I'm going to show you a shortcut way in a little bit. This is the longer way to do it. And that's a little more exact per client. So now you're going to add the therapy. And so we're going to say, I don't know why I always use neurotactile. Why is that not coming up? Oh, because I spelt it wrong. Neuro. Okay, so you see I typed it in and I got my options, neurostructural, neurotactile. I'm going to click neurotactile. How many times do I want them to do the neurotactile exercises a week? Well, I'm going to leave it at 5. No, yeah, I'll leave it at 5. Neurotactile is one of my, nobody can go wrong with neurotactile. Okay, now I have my summer program and I have neurotactile, but I don't want them to do every neurotactile technique. So again, I click on the little I, and now I have the areas. I'm going to say we've done nothing with Mobius strip, right? So we've got tactile proprioceptive, we've got tactile compressions, we've got, front of the body, Mobius strip, back of the body, and then the other back of the body. So there's 5 categories. And I'm going to take out the Mobius. There's nothing they're going to do with that. So I can delete the entire category, which means I'm going to remove all of these from their homework. And I can do that at this level. I can just say, take out the whole group. There's nothing there that I want them to do. However, I'm going to take this one out as well. Okay. However, what I really want them to focus on now is in the front of the body. I want them to do stroking of the upper limbs, right? I want them, and so I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to leave front of the body, stroking of the lower limbs. But again, I don't want them to do it gets a little overwhelming. So I'm going to select some of these that are more advanced, that they haven't learned yet, and I'm going to delete them. So I'm going to delete the exercises that I've checked from this group. Yes, I don't want those. Now, what I can do now is, if you'll see, it defaults to 3 repetitions, 5 times a week. I want to edit that. Okay. So I want to say, do this exercise 4 times a week. And I can automatically change this for them. I can do any of that I'd like to do. If you're not sure if this is exactly what you want them to do, you can click on the little eye and it shows you the videos. It gives you a chance to see what they're going to see. And so this is the meat of this. These videos were created in a TV studio. We have 2 different angles. This first video will show you both angles. Okay, it's going to show you from the top and the side, but it also gives just a side view and just an above view. So this view. If you scroll down a little bit, it actually tells you the description and gives information about the technique. And just a very basic, it's not as, of course, detailed as the handouts and the parent guide and all of that, but it does give this beautiful video demonstration. Okay, so yep, this is what you want. So we can go back to the previous exercise. I'm going to go back to exercises. And so you would continue through all of this, all of these as you want. And it's actually, you have everything and then you remove them. The last step, once you're finished, is to go back to the client and make their program active. So right now it's always going to be set to inactive, so you can play with it all you want, right? And so you just change it to active and now they can see it. And I'm going to show you what they see, and then then I'll show you the short version of how to assign homework without having to go through this for every single client. Okay. So when I went back to the application a minute ago, it actually shows you, these are the videos for me to do as homework. Again, this is a lot because we didn't really clean it out. And so this is a lot to ask somebody to do every week, right? I mean, I understand that this is excessive, but I did want you to see kind of, okay, so now they're going to go do foot tenning guard in the sitting position. So let's take a look at this. And they can just simply click on it right from their home screen because that's what the client will see. And then they get the video. Although, yeah. And then you have the camera just on the feet and then the camera on the whole body to show the exercise. Okay. So this is what the client sees. Again, a lot. Now, some of you might be thinking, wow, that's kind of a lot. You know, I don't know that I want to go through this for every client, or, you know, initially it's going to take some time to set up. However, there's a beautiful little tool and it's homework templates. So we know, right? Do you have clients that you typically assign? I mean, do you do with some of your clients typically the same exercises, or you would want them to work on them at home? These same, you know, 4 or 5 techniques from as a phase 1 when they come to work with you. So you can actually go in and you can create a homework template. So you have your knowledge base, you have your clients, and now you have your homework templates. So I haven't created a homework template, but similar to adding a client, you're going to go over here and add a new template. And you could call this, we'll call this getting started homework, right? So this is their getting started homework. I still need to capitalize. Okay, save. And then you're going to go in and edit with the little pencil button and do the exact same thing I just showed you by adding the therapies. And I'll show you, let's see, archetype. And you just, to get the therapy, you just type in the title. If I type MNRI, ones that start with MNRI show up. Oral facial, you just type oral. But let's go ahead. We'll start with archetype. We're going to do 5 weeks. No, weekly. We're going to do this weekly repetitions 4 times. And then you'll go in with the little eye, open it up, and then again, you're going to delete the exercises you do not want them to use, and then edit any of the ones that you say you don't want it 1 repetition 4 times a week. You want it 3 repetitions 2 times a week. Then you can go in and edit that, right? And when you're all done, this is a saved template. So that, let's go back. So I'm gonna, all right, let me say, again, this is way too advanced for a new person that's new to MNRI, typically. So we're gonna focus on trunk extension, head spine rotation. All right, so we're gonna delete. Yes, I want to delete that group. Why didn't they delete? Yes, I got to delete them all individually. Didn't let me delete them. Why didn't it let me? Let's see. No. So I guess you have to delete them one at a time. I didn't think you did. But all right, so we're deleting these one at a time. Delete. I'm just gonna, for example's sake, now automatically this is saved into that homework template. So I'm going to go back to my homework templates by navigating the top, and I'm going to look at what I have in here. So I have archetype, and when I look at it, I have these 4 techniques, and that's all I'm going to assign in this template. Now, I've gone through all 5. Let's pretend for time's sake, I've gone through all 5 protocols. I've set my homework. I can now, when I go back to my client, my test client, I can, instead of adding homework individually, I can apply a template. And then all I have to do is put in the name of my template, my getting started homework, apply the template, and it's there. It's done. I'm just going to activate it. And now they have everything that was in there. So now you're doing it once, and you can use this across multiple clients. If you want to add other things, you can do that similarly. Okay. So I'm going to stop because I've talked constantly for 20 minutes. What questions do you have? And what I'm finding, the questions that I'm getting are how to get a client connected and how to sign up the homework. What other questions might you have related to this? I'll move you guys over so I can see the chat. I can come off mute.
Do you know what the cost is to the client?
I do. So it is for a month, it's $30. For a year, it is hold on a minute. It's cheap. It gets a little cheaper each time. It's 310 maybe. And then for 3 years, it's 795. So those are my estimated costs. And then I'm pretty sure it's 310 for the whole year. I do have a recording of this on YouTube as well. That's it's not as detailed because there wasn't the homework templates and that sort of thing. A point to remember again is that I have all of the therapies. So if you've only taken neurotactile and the iPet, say, and that's where you focus, that's the therapy that you will have access to. And until you take something else, one of these other areas, you would not be able to see those areas.
Elizabeth, do you know if the intro class that Yichin teaches has some oral facial in it? Would that be, if I had that class but not oral facial, would I have access to that? No.
No,
Okay.
because it's not going to cover all of those techniques. That's a good question. If you have your hand up, I love it.
Yeah. Well, let me know if my signal is too poor. If you can't hear me, I could just type. Um,
I can.
so it looks like this. Okay. It looks like it's a desktop-based app. Is it also available on Android or Apple?
It is on both. Yes, it is available on both.
Okay.
I like to use, so because what I say is setting it up to assigning the homework and everything is the tricky part. And so I recommend you get started from the computer, but it is available and it's available for the clients with the app. That's easier. But from the therapist perspective with the setup, I recommend using the desktop first, just to get familiar with it. While she's working to come back, that was a good question about using it from the desktop or the Android or the Google. I mean, I have the app on my phone. It's this little blue icon is what it looks like. Um, oh, I know you won't be able to see it, but it's up in this top corner. See, I got, so it's on my phone and I can click on it and I can log in just like, um, just similar to how I do here.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please, Rivka.
Hi. So I have the app on my phone, but it says I need an invitation from my therapist. So we just email you so that you could get us started. Okay.
Yep.
Amazing. Is the app really up and running now?
It is absolutely up and running. Yes.
That's so exciting.
It
Okay.
is up and it is fully functional. We have all of the techniques. What you saw is from this demonstration is what you will get.
That's great. And
Yeah.
you'll know when I email you what classes I took. Like that will
Yes.
automatically be available to me.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yes. I actually have to go in and manually do that.
Uh-huh.
So I expect to be busy with that over the next few days, which reminds me. Okay, so now you give these videos to your clients and they can actually practice it. You can actually see if they're doing it. As the therapist, you'll be able to see if they're actually going in and accessing these apps, accessing the app and using the videos. That's sort of a teacher thing that I'm like, ooh, I can check to see if they did their homework. My hope is that people will be more apt to do the exercises with these really up to date and nice videos. They're nice explanations. And even if all they do is, have the child watch them, you've got those mirror neurons working. So, I look to me, it's a win-win, in that sense. All right, Julie, you're back. Hold on.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's free to providers, so it's a great tool
Yes.
just to get set up and then invite clients and they can choose if they want to purchase it.
Yes.
And then I looked in the Play Store on Android while we were chatting and I didn't see it yet there.
It should be. Did you type in MyMNRI or just MNRI?
No, I typed in MyMNRI. I looked at the email and pulled the name from there, but
Okay. I'll have to check with the developers because it's supposed to be available already on both Apple and Android. So
Elizabeth, could you provide me with your contact information so when I set up the app, I can get a hold of you?
sure, it's and I'll put it in the chat too. It's Elizabeth at MNRIglobal.com. The best part about if you need to get a hold of any of us, it's just our first name at MNRIglobal.com. So that's the nice part about if you need to get a hold of any of us at SMEI, it's our first name at MNRIglobal.com. Very simple. You can view the videos before you send them. You can view them in the homework as you were setting it up. That's one way, or you can actually go into the knowledge base, again, I suggest going to the therapies because it's better organized and for me. And then you can view whichever one you would like to see. Just let's say we want to look at spinal glide. I actually haven't watched this one yet. And then you just keep arrowing down till you get, let's do the digital stroke. Let's check that one out, right? And then I'm going to preview it, right, before I send this on. Currently, we have these available in English and in Polish. We are looking to, so you guys can watch, and we are looking to expand this to other languages in time. And then what's cool, okay, so that was the side view. No, was that the whole body view? Let's see. Oh, this is a little further away. But what I like here is you can actually see how his body is, not just what she's doing. So I think I like the different views. So that would be the best way to preview it, is if you were going to assign it to make sure that it was right. And you know what? It opened in another window. That's why I was lost before. And you could actually see what it tells them to do. This is not, it looks like it is. Oh, it is. Let's just see. Nope. I didn't think it was editable. No, it looks like it should be, but it's not. This should be. But videos, this is another way you can just click. Shows you what's there, and then the translations. Because right now it's just in English and Polish. And you set up your language when you sign up for the app. These are good questions. Any other questions? I've had many conversations when I'm at conferences with some of the specialists or course and training, and I know from what I'm hearing from all of you, many of you have waiting lists of people, and one of the therapists said to me, I have some clients that I really need to see, that I want to see every week, but this might allow me to be able to see them every other week if they buy into using the app and they're doing the exercises properly, because these particular families do, then maybe I could actually see more people. And just because I'll be able to see people instead of every week, maybe every other week, or instead of multiple times a week, once a week. And so she saw this also as a tool, not just to help her families understand what to do when they're home and they want to do these exercises, but also as a way to be able to see more people, which I thought was a way I hadn't really considered before, but definitely an option.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
so as we attend more courses,
Yes.
will they automatically be added in?
No. However, I would like to have a process that I would be able to just know, like, here's the list of people that attended Archetype, and I could go in and say, okay, now I can assign them that. Currently, you'll need to just let me know that you've taken the class, and I will add that in for you. I'll verify it and add it in for you.
Okay.
I know that to me, unfortunately, because it was designed with the app and because it's designed for different countries and we use different systems, they don't talk to each other. And so it's kind of a bummer, but it's easy to do. So I expect it to be a fairly quick turnaround when you do email me.
And as I get it right, that we just need for us as providers, it's free, and we
It
need
is.
to invite our clients So
Mhm.
it's we, so uh, the specialist
Mhm.
will join, they invite the clients, and
Mhm.
clients cannot go to this app on themselves, yeah, by themselves.
They can't, they can, right now they need to have a therapist that is using the app to be able to use it.
Okay, thank you.
And it is free for the therapist or specialist, yes. All right, what other questions might you have? Here's what I can promise you. When when this is done, by the end of the day tomorrow, I will send you this recording. I will send you the YouTube link where I do a demonstration that's just formal. I just moved right through it. And I will also send you the PowerPoint that I kind of showed can you guys see that? I don't know. I said share my screen, but let me see. Yes, you can. And I will send you this PowerPoint, which actually shows you step by step in writing what to do. So I'm going to send all of that out to help get you started. So it's kind of a step by step. I worked with them in Poland to create this. So, all right. What other questions? What other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there ever going to be an option for us as practitioners to, like, let's say we modify the technique a little bit for a certain client? Is there going to ever be an option to like create our own video, or is it just going to be these ones that are already created for us?
So it's going to be these that are created for you because they're the standard. That's what that's what we're going to provide. Yeah. But I
Got it.
do know
Thank
what
you.
you mean about modifying the technique
Yeah.
for someone. I do understand that, but no, that
Okay.
is not in the works. That is
Got
not in
it.
the plan. Good question. So I'm really glad you guys are excited about this. And I know some of you have been waiting for so long because we've talked about this in different places at different conferences and we did the presentation, gosh, it's probably been 6 months, 9 months ago, originally to kind of promote that it was coming. And at that time, there were two of the protocols were ready, not all five. And so we kind of hit pause until all five were really ready. And so they are ready now. We are ready. And as a bonus, we've added in that homework template as people did get to play with it a little. That was a definite need. All right. Well, if you don't have any other questions, I will let you go. If you have questions, email me. I will get this out to you in the next 24 hours or so as a recording and that PDF as I promised. All right. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for your interest and for taking the time to join me today. And I look forward to helping you and seeing how this works for all of you. All right. Have a great day.